undersea dwellers to another episode of Filmation Spotlight, where we take a look at what is arguably the 12th or 13th most influential animation studio in animation history. That's a little bit
number
high,
one in our hearts, though.
Number one in our hearts, yes. Filmation, best known for giving us He-Man and She-Ra and a few other things. And this is the show where we talk about those few other things. Brave Star was great. Anyway, they killed a kid in that show. It was great. We are talking about one of the other things right now with whenever you think superheroes, you think of the greats. You think of Spider-Man. You think of Superman. You think of Batman. But Filmation decided to take on the greatest superhero of all time. The one that everyone looks up to. The one that screams heroism and personality. Aquaman. I don't know why, but in the 1960s, and I would even argue in the 1970s, Aquaman was being pushed harder on audiences than Hawk and Dove were being pushed on us in the 2000s. And just like Hawk and Dove, my only response to that was, who is asking for this? We don't want this character. We don't want Aquaman. We don't want Hawk and Dove, and we sure did not need the Aquaman, what did they even call this show? The Aquaman Tower of Power or something. The Adventures of Aquaman.
It was part of the Adventures of Superman and Aquaman.
Oh yes, the Adventures of Superman and Aquaman. It's like it was
so strong they had to have Superman in it.
Oh my gosh, that is like going to a concert and saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for Ozzy Osbourne and Kid Rock?"
A little bit. Hey, you know what? You can rag on this Aquaman as much as you want, and certainly it is probably the beginning of the downfall of that character.
I don't think I think you have to have an upfall to have a downfall. Personally,
yeah, that's true. It struggled, but I will say I noticed a jump in quality of animation, and I didn't completely hate the 2 episodes I watched. It was still very rudimentary, but there was a jump. There was clearly a jump here where they spent a little bit more in this. And a well-fleshed-out environment. I've got to say, Aquaman is as boring as any superhero character from the 1960s. They have no personality whatsoever. They're the same. But I like the fact that we had Aqualad really in it quite heavily, and Mira. Whoever voiced that performance, you did a better job than the film version, so we'll give you that.
Well, she probably crapped in a lot less beds, too. Did I say that? No. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. Probably a place of absolute venom.
The first episode, we're dealing with Black Manta. This is cool. I don't have an issue with that at all.
No.
I've got to say, the Manta Men, kind of pseudo-ugly, but kind of cuddly. I'd cuddle a soft boy Manta Man. I didn't find them too bad.
I appreciate that they brought out Aquaman's big bad and like made him put him in the first episode. I mean, I don't know. They seem to really be hesitant to do that on these old TV shows. You know, we can't show Brainiac, we can't show Lex Luthor, we can't show Gorilla Grodd. Let's do like I don't know, this guy over here who has the joy buzzer that makes people give him money or something. But yeah, this was. It's Aquaman. It was fine. It wasn't
horrible.
It wasn't horrible. It was boring, though. It was very
it was. I mean, like, the fact of the matter is, Aquaman as a hero is useless on his own. This is what the 2 episodes showed me. As a character, unless he can telepathically talk to fish, he's screwed as a hero. He's got nothing else to bring to the table because he doesn't actually save anybody or anything in the 2 episodes I saw. No, some fish do it.
Oh, yeah. He's basically a slave master to the fish. It's quite problematic.
It's basically he has an iPhone. He has an internal iPhone, and he's calling better people to handle the situation. You know,
it was. I'm just
goofy,
thinking,
right?
If I had to, Aquaman is a hero for people who think that air is too spicy. He's just
he's just vanilla as you get.
Yeah, he's like Lars from Journey to the Center of the Earth. You know, the Aryan hair and the features.
We didn't talk about him.
Yeah. Oh my god! But yeah, we know where Aquaman was born. We know where his loyalties lie. Where are yours, Lars? That's what I want to know.
He's been jeans shopping recently.
But yeah, he's just. I mean, it's for. This is definitely made for kids. The plots are short and digestible. It never gets complicated. It's just,
and that's a positive.
Aquaman and Aqualad are floating along on their little seahorses and their walrus. What is the walrus's name? Tusky?
I don't know, but he's kind of cute.
He was kind of cute. You got this somewhat troubling tendency of Aquaman to call Aqualad tadpole, which to me just kind of sounds like
kind of creepy.
Aqualad, where are your parents?
Yeah, and what the other thing with Aqualad is he's not very aware of his situation in that realm.
He's really
but he
not.
Seems to be far more aware of the situation than Aquaman is in most of this series too. I noticed, like he seems the one that going, "Hey man, there's trouble out, Wanda. Maybe we should deal with it." Okay, let me call my buddies.
Watching the show, I can definitely see where the inspiration for the John DiMaggio Aquaman from Batman the Brave and the Bold came from. Just someone who is so full of himself, but at the same time completely unaware of what's going on around him. Just somebody who thinks he's a great hero, but with no observational skills. Yeah. And I never connected them because I never really watched the Aquaman show before. But
look, it had its. Like I said, as a piece of animation, it is an upgrade. So technically, they've taken a step up from what we've seen recently. However, there's nothing to it. There's just nothing to it. It's just copy and paste. I mean, if you had the exact same episode, set them on land, you could insert any superhero characters like Batman and Robin. It could be Superboy and Superman. Like, it's so generic, the archetypes, that they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get really connected to that stuff because it's like, well, there's nothing really there.
Yeah, there was very little effort put into the writing of this. Like you said, they came up with one story and they just repeated it every week with a different bad guy.
What's with Aquaman's Aquaman's like his ride? It seems really angry, doesn't it?
He really does. A little seahorse looks like
that seahorse
like really bad. Yeah,
mean, right?
I don't know.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked it's not a cowardly figure that he has to do something magical and makes him brave.
Well, that would come in the 80s.
But it was done before the 80s too. But
it was.
But it's perfected in the 80s. Let's rephrase that.
Yes, it was perfected in the 80s. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of thoughts on this one. It's just... it's generic, white bread, unimaginative, boring hero, but at the same time, it's not offensively bad. I could see this keeping kids. Yeah, I could see this keeping kids entertained while the parents are just like, "What is this? Why is he on a horse? Who's the boy in the underwear? Why is there a boy in underwear with this man? Why can't he wear pants like the man does? Where are his parents?"
I'm going to give a shout out to the title sequences. Normally, you'd have to sit through a 30-second Aquaman, so you'd save the day. But no, we get this really cool Aquaman floaty thing. And then when the title of the episode comes in, it goes floaty. I appreciate the shortcut in that. And it looks cool. I'm just saying. I thought it was.
This was part of a larger show, so it's like we don't have time for.
Yeah, we don't know to do the intro. Which
of course, then Hal Sutherland is over there. If we have a longer intro sequence, we have to animate a lot less.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's inoffensive, but offensively bland, I guess.
I think it's worth stopping in and visiting quickly if you're a fan of the old things, just to remind yourself. Like, we watched the first 2 episodes. I think that's enough of the meal. I think any more, you might have the runs. So I would just keep it at those 2.
And there was something interesting that I did find out. Number one, this is the first appearance of the actor. I don't know the actor's name. I couldn't find it, but he eventually goes on to narrate all the Super Friends episodes. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, this was his first appearance. And Aquaman was going to get a season 2, but at the last minute, Filmation, they wrangled another IP and decided that, you know what? Aquaman may not be all that. We got this dude over here who dresses like a bat. Let's try a TV show with him. And so, yes,
they were all about the IP, weren't they, back in that time?
That's
were.
What
Filmation.
Not always.
That's how they were surviving.
Not always, because next time on Filmation Spotlight, we're actually going to be taking a look at it is an IP, but Fantastic Voyage is what we're going to be looking at next. Now, last time on Filmation Spotlight, we looked at another H.G. Wells adaptation of Journey to the Center of the Earth, and we had some comments about a character on that show. We thought that he had a questionable... What's the word I'm looking for without saying the word I'm thinking of?
I'm going to say it. This guy looked like he escaped at the end of World War II and went and lived in Argentina. He was certainly... put it this way, he's probably a big fan of American Eagle jeans. I'm just saying.
Probably so. Anyway, we were confused because we couldn't find who voiced this character, and it seemed like all mention of the character had been scrubbed from the internet. So, of course, that just fueled our conspiracy theory. However, our viewers are on it because C.J. Marshall tells us that the character's name was Lars, and he was also voiced by Schneider, Pat Harrington Jr. He was Swedish, and he was always saying, in my country, I was champion, and fill in the blank. I was a champion cake baker. He
was baking a lot of goods.
Yeah, I'm not even going to go there. But yeah, lots of people were telling us. Lots of people were telling us, yes, this was Lars. He was Swedish. He was Swedish. That's a great cover story, but... I have my doubts.
I'm sure you checked his papers. It says that, but we know, right? When you know, you know.
Pat Harrington Jr., by the way, voiced Speedy in the Teen Titans sequences in the parent show of here. Yes, and our boy Ted Knight was back for this one as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, two folks from the last series is in this series. Now, will they be in Fantastic Voyage? I don't know.
I mean, it's you know, I mean, they made a ripoff of this in the 80s called Inner Space in a way, didn't they?
Was it a ripoff or was it an enhancement?
It was an enhancement. Big freaking enhancement.
Okay, so
that is amazing. And the moment I fell in love with the Doctor from Voyager is in that film. Robert Picardo.
Oh yes, he was the cowboy, wasn't he? Yes,
yeah, he's brilliant in that sequence.
So I've never seen this animated Fantastic Voyage series before, so we'll just have to see if it's any good.
A spin-off from the movie? I would have to be, right? If the movie exists alone as its own entity, then the cartoon series clearly is a...
I mean, it's possible. It's not well known, but there was actually an adaptation of Lost in Space. I don't know if it was done by Filmation because I've only seen this once.
Yeah.
But it was an animated adaptation of Lost in Space, but at the same time,
I have memories of that.
It looked nothing like the TV show. Like the Jupiter 2 was a rocket. Dr. Smith. Yeah. He was one of the voice cast. The robot was there, but all of the other characters were different. It was so weird.
Yeah, they did that back then, didn't they? They would do those kind of things inexplicably, but
yeah.
But I look forward to seeing it, dude. I look forward to seeing it next on this show. It will be fun to have a look. I mean, look, we haven't enjoyed everything on the Filmation series so far.
Well, it's Filmation. No, you wouldn't.
But you wouldn't. But it's still a joy to go through all this stuff and touch base with all these kind of things. It's like looking through a photo album. Nobody likes seeing themselves in a photo album.
I like having my member berries fondled. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, a little bit, and it's doing that. And you know, we're actually learning the journey of how they got from point A to their peak in the 80s.
He-Man, yes.
Well, yeah. I honestly, that's where it's going to get controversial for me because, funnily enough, in doing this Filmation, there have been some things post He-Man that maybe don't have the stallion power of He-Man, but still represent that Filmation had definitely grown as a studio. And Brave Star is a great example of that.
Oh, yes. They killed a kid in that show.
Gorgeous.
Awesome.
Yeah, you fixated on killing that kid. Well,
I'm never getting over the fact they kill a kid in that show. Just kidding. Do you need to get that?
No, I'm not going to answer it. No, it's just one of the audience saying, "Hey, man, tell him to get over killing the kid." Oh, it's all right.
I can't get over killing the kid. But you know what? While you're on the phone with them, tell them to become a Patreon by clicking the link in the video description below. Give us $5. And I guarantee you, if enough people pledge $5 a month to us, I might, but probably won't, stop talking about how Bravestar killed a kid. Bravestar didn't kill the kid. It was a bad guy who killed the kid. Yeah, so I'm just saying the TV show killed the kid.
That's Saturday morning in the 80s. That's cartoons. Well, actually, no. This was weekdays, wasn't it? It was weekdays. That's
Yes, it
Filmation was all about 5 days a week. All about that 5 day a week money, eh?
That's why they only animated like 3 frames a second, my friend. 3 frames a second.